We live in a world that glorifies being busy, staying connected, and constantly engaging with others. We are taught that success is found in the crowd, in networking, and always being surrounded by people. But what if I told you that true strength, clarity, and leadership are not found in the noise, but in the silence? Being alone is not a weakness. It is not loneliness. It is power. The most successful leaders, thinkers, and visionaries in history understood this. They knew that solitude is where ideas are born, where self-awareness grows, and where real confidence is built. Today, I want to challenge the way we see being alone. I want to show you that solitude is not isolation. It is elevation. And when you embrace it, you don't just discover who you are, you unlock the power to lead, to create, and to inspire. Sure, here's an expanded version of the first keynote. In a world that constantly demands our attention, it can be difficult to find a moment to be alone with our thoughts. From the moment we wake up, our minds are flooded with information, notifications, and conversations. We are encouraged to stay connected, to always be in touch, and to seek validation from external sources. But in doing so, we often neglect one of the most powerful tools available to us, solitude. When we take the time to be alone, we create space for self-awareness, a deep understanding of who we are, what we believe in, and what truly matters to us. Self-awareness is the foundation of personal growth, yet many people go through life without ever truly knowing themselves. They adopt opinions, beliefs, and behaviors that are shaped by the people around them, rather than by their own inner convictions. They follow trends, mimic social expectations, and seek approval without questioning whether the path they are on is actually the right one for them. But when we embrace solitude, we begin to strip away the layers of external influence and uncover our authentic selves. When we are alone, we have the chance to listen to our own thoughts without interference. In the quiet, we can reflect on our emotions, our reactions, and our desires. We can ask ourselves important questions. What do I truly want? What makes me happy? What are my strengths and weaknesses? These are questions that cannot be answered in a rushed conversation or while scrolling through social media. They require deep introspection, which is only possible when we step away from the noise and spend time in solitude. Being alone allows us to confront our fears and insecurities. Many people avoid solitude because they are afraid of what they might discover about themselves. They fear their own thoughts, their doubts, and their vulnerabilities. But avoiding these things does not make them go away. In fact, it only allows them to grow in the background, influencing our decisions in ways we don't even realize. When we take time to sit with our thoughts, to process our emotions without distraction, we gain clarity about who we are. We learn to accept ourselves, flaws and all, and we develop the courage to make decisions based on what is truly right for us, rather than what others expect of us. Solitude also provides the opportunity to reconnect with our values and principles. When we are constantly surrounded by people, it is easy to be swayed by different opinions and perspectives. While it is valuable to learn from others, there is a difference between learning and losing oneself in the process. When we spend time alone, we can reflect on what truly matters to us. We can evaluate whether our actions align with our beliefs and make necessary adjustments. This kind of self-reflection strengthens our sense of identity and gives us the confidence to stand firm in our convictions, even when they differ from the majority. Another benefit of solitude is the ability to reset and recharge. The demands of daily life can be overwhelming, and without moments of solitude, we risk burnout. Constant interaction, whether in person or online, drains our mental and emotional energy. When we take time to be alone, we allow ourselves to breathe, to process our experiences, and to regain a sense of balance. This rejuvenation makes us more effective in everything we do, whether it's work, relationships, or personal endeavors. Moreover, solitude fosters independence. Many people rely on others for reassurance and decision-making, but true confidence comes from the ability to trust oneself. When we learn to enjoy our own company, we stop seeking external validation and start relying on our inner voice. This self-reliance is what allows great leaders, thinkers, and innovators to break away from the norm and pursue paths that others may not understand. They are not afraid to be different because they have spent time alone, discovering what truly drives them. Solitude also enhances emotional intelligence. When we are constantly engaged with others, we may not always have the time to process our emotions. We react impulsively, influenced by immediate circumstances rather than long-term understanding. But when we take the time to be alone, we can analyze our feelings, understand why we react in certain ways, and gain control over our emotions. This awareness helps us build healthier relationships as we become more empathetic, patient, and mindful of both our own emotions and those of others. Beyond personal growth, solitude is also essential for creativity and problem solving. Some of the greatest ideas and innovations in history were born in moments of solitude. When we are alone, our minds are free to wander without external interruptions. We can think deeply, explore different perspectives, and make connections that we might not have noticed in a crowded environment. Creativity flourishes in quiet spaces, where the mind is allowed to roam, unrestricted by external expectations or distractions. In a world that celebrates being busy and constantly engaged, solitude is often misunderstood as loneliness or isolation. But in reality, it is a powerful tool for self-discovery, clarity, and inner strength. Creativity and innovation thrive in moments of solitude, where the mind is free from external distractions and interruptions. In today's fast-paced world, people are constantly bombarded with information, conversations, and expectations. The noise of daily life leaves little room for deep thought, making it difficult to generate original ideas. However, when a person embraces solitude, they create a space where their mind can explore, connect ideas, and cultivate creativity in ways that are not possible in a crowded or chaotic environment. Some of the greatest minds in history understood the value of solitude in the creative process. Writers, artists, inventors, and philosophers have often sought isolation to produce their most groundbreaking work. When the mind is not preoccupied with responding to emails, checking notifications, or engaging in small talk, it has the opportunity to enter a state of deep focus. This level of concentration allows for the development of ideas that may otherwise be drowned out by external distractions. The brain requires quiet time to process information and form new connections. When constantly engaged with others, a person is reacting rather than reflecting. Solitude gives the brain the necessary downtime to organize thoughts, recognize patterns, and generate insights. This process is essential for creativity, as innovation often emerges from the ability to see things from a different perspective. Ideas need time to evolve, and solitude provides the ideal environment for this mental exploration. In moments of quiet, the subconscious mind becomes more active, leading to unexpected breakthroughs. Many people experience this phenomenon when they are alone, perhaps while taking a walk, sitting in a quiet room, or engaging in a solitary activity. The absence of external noise allows deeper thoughts to surface, leading to new ideas and solutions. This is why some of the best ideas come during moments of solitude rather than during group discussions or brainstorming sessions. Solitude also encourages originality by allowing a person to think independently without the influence of external opinions. When surrounded by others, people may unconsciously conform to the ideas and expectations of the group. This can limit creativity, as individuals may hesitate to explore unconventional or risky ideas. However, in solitude, there is no pressure to conform. A person is free to think outside the box, experiment with new possibilities, and take creative risks without fear of judgment. The modern world often equates collaboration with creativity, emphasizing teamwork and group discussions. While collaboration is valuable, it is not a replacement for solitude. Many of the most significant creative breakthroughs begin in moments of deep individual thought before they are shared and refined in group settings. Solitude allows for the raw generation of ideas, which can then be developed further through collaboration. In a constantly connected world, the ability to disconnect and embrace solitude is becoming increasingly rare. However, those who recognize the power of quiet moments understand that creativity does not come from being busy or surrounded by noise. It comes from giving the mind the space to wander, reflect, and create without limitations. True confidence is not built through external validation, but through an internal sense of self-assurance that comes from being comfortable alone. Many people rely on social interactions, compliments, and approval from others to feel worthy, but this kind of confidence is fragile. When external validation is removed, self-doubt creeps in and insecurity takes over. Real confidence, the kind that cannot be shaken by circumstances, is cultivated in solitude, where a person learns to trust themselves, their instincts, and their abilities without needing reassurance from others. Spending time alone allows a person to confront their thoughts, emotions, and insecurities without distraction. In solitude, there is no one to impress, no expectations to meet, and no opinions to shape one's self-image. It is in these moments of quiet that a person can reflect on their true worth, independent of external influences. They can evaluate their strengths, acknowledge their weaknesses, and develop a deeper understanding of who they are. This self-awareness becomes the foundation of unshakable confidence. When a person is constantly surrounded by others, they may unintentionally seek approval through comparison. They measure their worth based on how they stack up against friends, colleagues, or social media influencers. This creates a cycle of dependency where confidence is tied to external validation rather than internal belief. However, when a person embraces solitude, they remove these external comparisons and focus solely on their own growth and progress. They learn to appreciate their unique qualities and abilities rather than seeking affirmation from others. Solitude also provides an opportunity to develop self-reliance. Many people feel uncomfortable being alone because they have never learned to enjoy their own company. They rely on others for entertainment, support, and decision-making, which weakens their sense of independence. When a person spends time alone, they begin to trust their own judgment, make decisions confidently, and find fulfillment without needing constant social engagement. This self-reliance strengthens confidence as they realize they are capable of handling life's challenges on their own. Another aspect of confidence building in solitude is the ability to silence negative self-talk. In social environments, people may mask their insecurities with distractions, but in solitude, they are faced with their inner dialogue. This presents an opportunity to challenge and reshape negative thoughts. By recognizing self-doubt and replacing it with self-affirmation, a person develops a stronger, more positive self-impression. Instead of looking to others for reassurance, they become their own source of encouragement. Spending time alone also allows a person to set and achieve personal goals without external influence. When surrounded by others, decisions are often influenced by societal expectations, peer pressure, or the fear of judgment. However, in solitude, a person can identify what truly matters to them, set goals based on their own values, and work toward them without being swayed by outside opinions. Achieving these goals independently reinforces confidence, proving that success does not require external validation, but rather self-discipline and belief in one's abilities. Great leaders understand the power of solitude and use it as a tool to gain clarity, reflect on their decisions, and strengthen their ability to lead with confidence. In a world that celebrates constant activity, leadership is often associated with being in the spotlight, making quick decisions, and engaging with others at all times. However, the most effective leaders recognize that stepping away from the noise allows them to think more deeply, refine their vision, and make decisions that are not driven by impulse or external pressure. Solitude provides leaders with the mental space to analyze situations objectively. When constantly surrounded by people, there is a tendency to react to external opinions, immediate demands, and the expectations of others. While collaboration and feedback are important, too much outside influence can cloud judgment and make it difficult to see the bigger picture. When leaders take time alone, they remove distractions and gain a clearer perspective on their challenges, goals, and responsibilities. This level of reflection helps them make decisions that are not just reactive, but intentional and strategic. Another key advantage of solitude in leadership is the ability to develop original ideas. Leaders who rely solely on group discussions and brainstorming sessions may struggle to cultivate their own thoughts without being influenced by others. While teamwork is essential, great leadership requires independent thinking. By stepping away from external input, leaders can explore their own ideas, consider unconventional solutions, and develop a vision that is uniquely their own. Many of history's greatest leaders and innovators spent significant time in solitude to refine their ideas before sharing them with the world. Solitude also strengthens emotional resilience, which is crucial for effective leadership. Leading others often comes with pressure, criticism, and difficult decisions. If a leader is constantly seeking approval or relying on the presence of others for reassurance, their confidence can waver in times of adversity. However, leaders who embrace solitude develop a strong internal foundation that allows them to stay composed and decisive even in challenging situations. They become less dependent on external validation and more attuned to their own instincts and values, allowing them to lead with greater conviction. In addition to personal growth, solitude enables leaders to be more present and effective in their interactions with others. When leaders take time to recharge alone, they avoid burnout and maintain the energy needed to engage meaningfully with their teams. Constant engagement without moments of solitude can lead to exhaustion and reactive decision-making. By balancing social interaction with time alone, leaders ensure they are fully present, focused, and thoughtful when they do interact with others. Self-awareness is another critical leadership trait that is nurtured through solitude. Leaders who take time to reflect on their actions, motivations, and impact develop a deeper understanding of their strengths and weaknesses. This awareness allows them to continuously improve, recognize their blind spots, and lead with authenticity. A leader who knows themselves well is more likely to earn the trust and respect of others, as their decisions are grounded in integrity and a clear sense of purpose. Emotional independence is one of the most valuable qualities a person can develop, and solitude plays a crucial role in strengthening it. Many people unknowingly rely on others for their emotional well-being, seeking validation, comfort, and reassurance from external sources. While relationships and social connections are important, true emotional strength comes from the ability to regulate one's own emotions without depending on constant support from others. When a person embraces solitude, they learn to process their feelings independently, build resilience, and develop a sense of inner stability that is not easily shaken by external circumstances. Spending time alone allows a person to become more in tune with their emotions. In social settings, people often suppress or ignore their feelings to maintain appearances or avoid discomfort. They may distract themselves with conversations, entertainment, or external validation instead of addressing their emotions directly. However, solitude removes these distractions and forces a person to confront their thoughts and feelings honestly. This self-awareness is essential for emotional independence because it allows individuals to understand their triggers, reactions, and emotional patterns without relying on others to interpret or soothe their emotion. When a person learns to navigate their emotions in solitude, they become less reliant on external validation. Many people seek reassurance from others to feel worthy or accepted, constantly looking for approval in their relationships, work, or social circles. This dependence can create insecurity because their confidence is tied to the opinions of others. In contrast, those who spend time alone develop self-assurance that comes from within. They learn to validate their own experiences, recognize their own worth, and make decisions based on their true feelings rather than external expectations. Solitude also teaches a person how to handle difficult emotions without seeking immediate distraction. When faced with stress, sadness, or frustration, many people turn to social interactions, entertainment, or external comfort to escape their feelings. While temporary relief can be helpful, constantly avoiding emotions prevents true emotional growth. In solitude, individuals have the space to sit with their feelings, process them, and develop healthy coping mechanisms. They learn that emotions, no matter how intense, are temporary and manageable without needing others to fix or validate them. Another key aspect of emotional independence is the ability to make decisions confidently. People who rely too much on external input often struggle with decision-making, fearing judgment or doubting their own instincts. When a person spends time alone, they strengthen their ability to trust themselves. They learn to evaluate their choices based on their own values and desires rather than seeking approval from others. This self-trust leads to greater confidence and a sense of control over one's life. Developing emotional independence through solitude also leads to healthier relationships. When a person does not rely on others for constant emotional support, they enter relationships from a place of strength rather than need. They do not seek companionship out of insecurity or fear of being alone, but rather out of genuine connection and mutual respect. This creates stronger, more balanced relationships where both individuals can support each other without losing their sense of self. Solitude is often misunderstood as loneliness, but in reality, it is a powerful choice that leads to growth, clarity, and self-discovery. Many people fear being alone because society has conditioned them to associate solitude with isolation or social rejection. As a result, they fill their lives with constant interaction, distractions, and external validation, avoiding quiet moments where they are left alone with their thoughts. However, when a person chooses solitude intentionally, they realize that it is not a curse but a privilege, an opportunity to reflect, reset, and cultivate inner strength. Choosing solitude allows a person to take control of their time and energy. In a world filled with noise and obligations, people often feel pressured to engage in conversations, social events, and online interactions, even when they do not genuinely want to. This creates a cycle of exhaustion where they give their energy away without taking time to recharge. When someone embraces solitude, they reclaim their time, prioritizing activities and thoughts that nourish their mind and soul. Instead of feeling drained by constant engagement, they find peace in being alone, knowing that solitude is not something to be avoided, but embraced as a necessary part of life. Spending time alone also fosters self-discovery. When constantly surrounded by others, people are influenced by external opinions, expectations, and social norms, making it difficult to understand their own desires and aspirations. They may adopt beliefs, habits, and goals that are shaped by those around them rather than by their true selves. However, solitude creates a space for introspection, allowing individuals to explore their thoughts, values, and ambitions without interference. It helps them differentiate between what they truly want and what they have been conditioned to want, leading to greater authenticity and fulfillment. Solitude enhances mental clarity by reducing external distractions. When people are always engaged with others, their minds become cluttered with various conversations, opinions, and influences. This makes it difficult to focus on what truly matters. Time spent alone allows the brain to slow down, process information more effectively, and gain deeper insights into personal and professional challenges. Many of the greatest thinkers, writers, and innovators in history valued solitude because they understood that it provided the mental space necessary for creativity and problem solving. Another benefit of choosing solitude is the development of emotional resilience. Many people fear being alone because they associate it with feelings of emptiness or discomfort. However, when solitude is embraced as a choice rather than a forced circumstance, it becomes a tool for personal growth. It teaches individuals how to be content with their own company, how to navigate emotions independently, and how to find joy in moments of stillness. This emotional resilience makes them less dependent on others for happiness and more capable of handling life's challenges with confidence and grace. By reframing solitude as a choice rather than a condition, people can shift their perspective on being alone. Instead of seeing it as a negative experience, they can recognize it as a valuable opportunity for self-improvement, clarity, and renewal. Those who embrace solitude not out of necessity but out of intention understand that it is not about withdrawing from the world but about strengthening their connection with themselves.